Hi, I'm Jamie, a member of the Shift team, and I'm joined today by Pete from Target, one of our Shift Plus members. Pete, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Really excited to be working with yourselves at Shift Plus and seeing what we can do together.
Awesome. So let's jump into it. So tell me a bit about Target. What does Target do? What solutions do you have, and what problems do you solve?
Of course, right? So Target Group, so not linked at all to the American supermarket. It's probably a good start point, right? But joking aside, so Target Group is a company that's been around for 45 years, so steeped in history like many companies nowadays across the globe. We're based out of Southwest Wales in Newport and Cardiff, and really proud of our Welsh heritage. But what do? We are ultimately an IT and a financial services company that provides a range of services to end clients, businesses across the UK, Europe and further afield. But that sometimes doesn't bring out the size and the scale that we operate in. So Target's around 1,000 colleagues. We're part of the Tech Mahindra family of companies, which is 140,000 people, a 6 billion revenue company supporting well over 1,000 clients globally. But I always like to talk in a customer journey language. So how would you see or interact with Target Group if you saw its logo? You might not. So if you have a car and you drive that on the road, you will have to pay car tax. Ultimately, that's a service we provide to the DVLA and have done for 8+ years. In addition to that, we support many lenders where they may have installment lending to allow people to buy devices, such as iPhones, mobiles and other things. We provide the IT software to do that. And when you ring many banks, building societies to deal with service inquiries, that's actually Target colleagues, 1,000 of our awesome colleagues based across the UK and further afield. You're actually speaking to Target colleagues who will act on behalf of that bank, and they aim to put the customer experience first. So that's a little bit of snippet of what Target does.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And so that's what Target does. What about your role, and when did you join Target, and why did you join Target?
So I joined Target Group in 2022, August 2022. So my role is the Chief Executive Officer. So ultimately, it's my accountability to make sure that Target runs well. It focuses on the strategic aims of a Target, but also our parent company, Tech Mahindra. But most importantly, we look after our colleagues, our clients, and our customers. So very much my role is around our strategy, our future plans. How can we look to grow as a company, not only in terms of the clients that we serve, but how we look after our people and our customers. And really then outward looking and to see what's happening in the market, what are the trends, what are the levels of innovation, and ideally bringing that into Target's clients and its people on a regular basis. How I came to join Target. So Target's a company I've known for a few years. So my kind of career started off at Lloyds Banking Group when I was an industrial placement, right? A long time ago now. I've aged quite a little bit since then. Cut out the greys, obviously, from there. But then progressed through lots of different roles into IT and operations. Went to an outsourcing company, and then actually Target was always on my radar. It was close to home where I live in Bristol. But it always had a family feel about it. So we had some conversations initially, and then it kind of just morphed into joining Target in August 22, where I joined as the COO, so the Chief Operating Officer accountable to day-to-day running of the business. And then 8 months later, the opportunity came to ultimately run the company. So scary as that may seem at times, kind of embraced it and ultimately wanted to do right by the colleagues and the clients and the customers that we serve. So,
okay, yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic story. So just to kind of bring it back to Shift for a second. So what motivated you to join Shift Plus, and what goals do you hope that we can help you achieve?
Yeah, so what I've tried to do in Target is always embrace companies, people, your network out there who are trying to like trailblaze, right? We all want to be at the forefront of like technology and how we look after our people. And sometimes you don't have those resources or that knowledge in-house. You rightly have to go out to the market. And Shift was something that me and the marketing team and our growth team kind of came across through some partnerships with Woodhurst and many others, and kind of excited us in that they actively look after and support the fintech community, which we are trying to be in Target. We're trying to be more fintech and more agile. So one was it that it gave you direct access to fintech companies that are hopefully at the forefront of technology and innovation, whether that be tech or people or customers. So one was that, the kind of access to a community. Two was it gives us insight into what's happening, because you can Google things, right, or look on the internet, but it doesn't always give you what's actually happening in the marketplace. Certainly not in a financial services industry that's highly regulated, you need to do the right things by customers, you need to go to your trusted sources. So the second bit was it gave us the access to the right fintechs that ultimately understood our business. And thirdly is actually we thought we could maybe share some of our best practice and knowledge, bounce ideas, experiment with Shift Group, and hopefully just improve the customer experience. So we're really excited actually as to what we can do with Shift and how they can help us, and hopefully how we can help some of the fintechs that they're part of.
Wonderful. Well, we're excited to have you on board.
Thanks.
Looking forward, so we've spoken a little bit about those goals. What's the most exciting thing on Target's roadmap over the next 5 years or so?
So one of the exciting things is Target has always been an IT and a financial services company, and we provide a range of products and services, but we're ultimately going back to our core of being a product company, right? So it's really exciting in that we've reintroduced product ownership. We brought in, the agile change, development and experimentation across all aspects of the business, not just technology. And one thing that really is exciting me is that we're now beginning to unlock the power of our parent company, Tech Mahindra, right? I've always said that there's Target is a sleeping giant in some regards. It's been knowledgeable for mortgages, but we can offer so much more. So I'm excited to see how that Tech Mahindra's IT and its size and its scale can unlock us. But very simply put is that how we can become more business-led and focused on the customer, but technology-enabled. At times, sometimes we go to the things like, is it RPA, is it machine learning, is it AI? They're all fantastic piece of technology, but it's how you use them in the customer journey. So I'm excited to see how we leverage some of that technology, ultimately to make it easier for a customer to buy the home of their dreams, to get their query answered in whatever channel they want to ring us on or email us on or contact us on, and ultimately make it easy for customers to kind of be served and to be looked after. So I'm excited about how far we can push ourselves and leverage some of the tech out there to kind of enable it quicker. Almost I kind of describe it to the team as let's make micro changes, right? Let's make small changes that start to carry momentum and snowball and help you to move forward. And I'm excited about how we start to do that as a company.
Fantastic. So customer-led, technology-enabled.
Definitely.
So thinking beyond Target and more widely into financial services, is there any innovation or disruption that particularly excites you?
Yeah, there's lots of things. So the financial service market is actually very disparate, right? There's lots of things that goes on. You've got specialist lenders who are obviously out there, and we've done some work with those recently, and yourselves at Woodhurst and Co forth around what is in the technology space? How do you help asset finance and motor finance and so forth? You've then got core lenders who are looking to do mortgage servicing or savings. And then you've got other areas, right, that are slightly more specialist and niche. And that all encompasses financial services. And ultimately, they're looking for enhancements in all of those fields. So the things that excite me beyond AI, and we'll come to that last because couldn't go a call or a podcast without talking about AI. I think one is the changing shift of regulation. So we've always perceived that regulation is kind of hampering us or slowing us down. Actually, I think it's starting to become a bit of an enabler, whether that be consumer duty and re-gearing us to focus back on our customers and how we look after them and support them in the right way. But also actually the government has started to mobilize, I think, some more seamless regulatory change that should just enable us to do business easier, but still with the customer at the forefront. So one is regulation. I think two is changing kind of customer demands and expectations. I think the likes of Amazon and Google have kind of, whether that doesn't necessarily link directly to financial services, but the way they've changed a lot of the things that we use on a daily basis, that's challenging us in financial services to say, how do we adopt those things quicker, right? Now, it's not a direct read across to financial services because obviously we've got to do things in a certain way and with some level of governance, but ultimately it's pushing us to say things can be done quicker, or you can adopt technology, or you can bring it. And then specifically on the technology side, I guess AI very much at the forefront, but I think I look at it specifically around how it can enable some decisions to be made quicker than they are today. Certainly in the mortgage journey, I think that would be an even greater step forward than we've got today. Two is around understanding customer trends and giving us insights to then be able to develop product services of the future. That's where I'm really excited on AI, rather than seeing it as a direct replacement for somebody actioning work or somebody completing something. I see it as actually almost like a coexistence alongside someone to make them even more efficient and give them the time back to service their customers. Broader technology, you've got all of the work that still goes on in the cloud, but it's how do you create a marketplace for all of this awesome like services and technology, so it's in one place. And I think that's going to be quite exciting because we haven't necessarily cracked that yet, where lots of great fintechs have built awesome technology that help with e-learning, mandatory training, regulatory change. If it could be in one seamless marketplace that you can buy and use it on a regular basis, that would be a bit of a game changer. So I'm excited to see how we leverage that.
I'm excited to see that too.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming down. It's been a pleasure to hear a bit more about Target and your role, and I'm excited to see what we can do in the future.
Yeah, likewise, Jamie. Thanks for the time, and I'm really excited to see how we work closer with yourselves at Shift and help to kind of push the envelope and ultimately focus on the customer. So thanks again.
Thank you.